You know, ladies and gentlemen, just when you thought maybe I was going to cease and desist tonight, nah, not so fast. We're in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, baby, the only platform where all music and wrestling matters. And you might want to say, out of the ashes rises a hype man and a phoenix. I'll tell you more about that because these guys are going to have plenty to say where maybe they're going to cease and desist and lock up last week's guest who was on here to talk about a match that's coming up next weekend in the WVWF. I'll explain all of that here and some. Plus, we'll also talk about our guest who on the left side has had plenty of big matches, and he's got another one here coming up in 15 days, and we'll talk about that. Plus, we'll talk about some championship gold that he's got. I'll get into that, and I'm sure maybe we'll get into that WVWF tag team tournament that everybody's talking about, and maybe out of the ashes rises a cease and desist with a hype man and, I don't know, a phoenix to take over for some championship gold. We can talk about that. You know Wyatt Black's going to be brought up. You know the likes of Jade May are going to be brought up, and who knows whatever else. Now, I know that both of these men have been here before, but both of these men haven't been here simultaneously. So for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, I must formally introduce our guest the way that, well, our guest with an S, the way that we usually do it. So, in the famous words of Def Leppard frontman Joe Elliott, let's get rocked, baby, and start this show off in style. And the weekend on Sportzwire Radio, the number one global radio station where all music and wrestling matters. So, with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, the number one global sports show, a team that is very well soon to rise out of the ashes from the WVWF with a hype man and a phoenix. They are the team of Cease and Desist. First, the reigning, defending CSC Hybrid Champion of the World. His name is simply put the Hype Man. Lasers! And the man that is simply put Fellas, how are we doing?
Well, first off, thank you for that great introduction.
So much. Thank you, bro. And we are awesome. I'm
I
awesome.
don't think you got that on the Wrestlers Court podcast. Just saying, by the way. I know you were on there. Shout out to him, but I can almost, because I watched it for the chat out there, I am guaranteeing everybody they didn't get that intro on the Wrestlers Court podcast. They just saying, fellas, just saying.
Not even close, man. Not even close.
Well, to make you feel better, I had yesterday on Symphony X bassist Mike LaPond, and I didn't do the war chants, and I kind of said, well, I get the wrestlers on, and they get into it, and I know you're a busy man, and he said, no, it was good. It was the best one I heard, and and it was good, and he looked at me a little funny, but it's good to have you guys on here, and a lot to talk about here. Certainly, I'll get the poster up here for your match next week, and we're going to try and lock up the Institute. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some usual suspects here, the WWF, but Dan Lasers, the hype man that you are, I want to start off with you because for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that cease and desist, and the WVWF most certainly helped build Sportswire Radio to the tune of now nearly 1,600 subscribers. Hype man Dan Lasers, what does it mean to you now to be the reigning, defending CSE hybrid champion of the world?
So that's an excellent question.
Thank you very much.
So it was wicked getting there. All right.
Yeah.
You might know a little bit of the backstory. Wrestling wasn't always so kind to me.
Yep. You came on here once upon a time with, I see the 3 initials there. Yeah.
We went through all that. And I got my fair shot. And I mean, clearly zooming to the top, or trying, climbing that ladder.
Yeah.
And so it's easy. It's easy to feel like you made it, but I want you to hear me when I say,
yeah.
The work only starts now. Everything up to this point has been a warm up.
Really? Despite all the big matches you've been in the last few months, you've had several big matches. You have one coming up here in 2 weeks right after the WVWF show, which we're going to talk plenty about, but you're saying it just starts now?
There's a responsibility at this point.
Okay.
That it's not just a shiny belt. I lead the division right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And if I'm worth my salt.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If I'm worth my salt, I'm going to make this title mean something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking to drag somebody into deep water every single time I'm out there.
Well, you definitely have been in there with some big time opponents. You're going to be in there with another one, but I definitely think that you'll do a heck of a job with that. But Chris Phoenix, how does that motivate you, seeing that your tag team partners got gold? And how does that maybe motivate you also? Because he talks about dragging people up from the waters. And, obviously we've talked a lot about with you. We've talked of different things you're going to go through, which next weekend will be a topic shortly. But how does this maybe motivate you, seeing that your tag team partners got gold here now with the CSC Hybrid Championship?
Well, it just motivates me to go even harder, go even faster, go even higher.
Well, definitely pass it around. No, just kidding. But, it was funny. It was funny. I thought somebody would get a kick out of that. But, no, I think it's fascinating that you said that, hype man, because you've been in so many matches. Everybody's so high on you. Everybody, not that. Yeah, I'm sure somebody will get that joke later. But, no, in terms of what you bring to the table in the ring, and yet you feel maybe more pressure now as a champion, and that maybe that's why you're just getting started. Because sure, there was definitely a lot of excitement about you. We've seen you wrestle in a few different places. You have a match coming up on the 30th. A lot of people are excited about, but maybe now you're putting extra pressure on yourself because you now have a championship. And maybe that's part of the reason why the journey starts now.
Absolutely. So I don't know. I'm of the mind that can't nobody put pressure on me but me. And so nobody's going to push me harder than I will. No one else is going to keep me relevant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now that I have, gold and eyes, now that the eyes are on me, I got to give them something to see, right?
Yeah, no, I think that there's no question that there's been a buzz about you for a while. I've gotten a chance to see some of your matches, and I think that you're going to definitely deliver. You make a point that comes across a lot on my platform where it's only you. You know, you control your own destiny. This is a dog-eat-dog world in our sport, basically. And everybody's looking to cut your throat. Everybody's looking to get ahead. So really, at the end of the day, you're the only one that can control your own destiny. And we'll talk about that match here in a little while. And you've been in some other big matches, and I'm sure we'll bring those up again. But let me bring it up here because I've been wanting to talk about it. Now, that's the reason why we actually expedited you guys coming onto the platform. Because, you know, I know you guys heard last weekend, this guy that calls himself a controversy king, his name is Wyatt Black, and he's talked a lot, especially about Chris Fix. He even brought you up here, Hype Man Dan Lasers. I was talking about you and all the big matches you've been in, obviously championship gold, and you're going to see him now next weekend in Parkersburg, West Virginia, 325 7th Street. You're going to see him across the apron here. I'm going to have that poster up here very shortly. But you guys heard plenty from him, and now I'm going to give you guys now the opportunity. You might want to say to not only cease and desist the controversy king Wyatt Black, but maybe the rest of your opponents here coming up next weekend at the WVWF's lockup.
You want to start?
I mean,
they're going to do rock, paper, scissors. They're doing rock, paper, scissors to see who starts this, ladies and gentlemen. These guys are serious about cease and desisting the Institute, and especially the controversy king, Wyatt Black. Let's go for it here, fellas. Who's going first? It seems like
to be
it
fair,
might be
that's
a
how
hype
we
man.
settle. That's how we settle everything. Even getting into the ring, who starts first is rock. Paper, scissors.
Well, I think the New Age Outlaws used to do that, actually. New Age Outlaws did that. So
we
you
got some
better call some-
influences.
Well, I don't blame you, but I'll let you take the floor here.
So, Wyatt,
Yes.
let me talk to you. I know you out there. I know you listening. Keep running your mouth, little kid. You don't know. You don't know. Every single time we step in that ring, we get better. And so the next time you see us, you're going to be facing the best version of cease and desist.
And you're never gonna know what we're gonna do because we always do something different out there.
You guys are very unpredictable. You guys are one of the most unpredictable teams out
Like
there.
I said, the rare bird's not just a gimmick.
No, we saw that on Sportswire last time you were
Yeah.
here, about a month and a half ago. Yeah,
I'm-
we lived
I'm
that
telling
here
you,
literally.
I mean, like keep running your mouth. Keep running your mouth. I'm not much for words. I mean, I can get behind a mic and I do have a way, but I'm gonna show you. When you're standing across the ring from me, just keep that same energy. Just remember all that smack you was talking, because it's gonna be pay up time, and I hope your ass can write the check.
You know, that's interesting, fellas, that you said a couple of things I want to piggyback off, because Wyatt Black is known to be a big time talker. He's the controversy king. He's been on Sportswire several times, and he is known for saying a lot. Now, some would say he may not be able to have backed up all those things, but recently it seems like he's gotten himself in a position where you got to take him seriously. He's with the Institute now. We saw him interfere at the last show, not once, not twice, but 3 different matches. We've seen him now talk about the fact that this is his home company. He's talked about the fact that he's been here for over a year. And maybe now Wyatt Black, he's talked a lot, but maybe this is a possibility for him where he can back up some of the things he said, and he wants to take that out on you guys. He's called you guys outsiders, and he's now a company man. And how do you feel about some of those things?
I mean, you can call us an outsider, but your fans love us.
Big time.
You know what I mean? They surely accepted us, and in this business, they are why we do it.
They matter.
Yeah.
They're the ones that say, "Hey,
So
these guys are good."
So when they start calling me an outsider, maybe I'll give some heed to that. But as far as Mr. Big Mouth, I mean, only thing bigger than his mouth is his ego.
That's true.
Well,
But,
okay, go ahead. I'm listening.
But you know, I'm not from the show me state, but I am a show me type of person. So all them big tough words don't mean nothing. I've had a lot of people say a lot of things. What's going to happen between the bells is the question.
That's a good point, and I want to go back to that because you have been very vocal about your struggles outside the ring. You have been very vocal about your journey to get here. But Wyatt Black is just a kid. I mean, he's not even of the drinking age. He's not even of the age of anything. In many states, he's not even able to drive. And yet he seems like his struggles exceed almost anybody else's out there. For you guys, that must be laughable. I mean, you, Chris Phoenix, are a rare bird, and Hype Man Dan Lasers, we know your struggles, and you may call him Mr. Big Mouth. He's not to be confused with once upon a time a guy named Chauncey Billups, who was famously called Mr. Big Shot, who was one of the most clutch players, arguably, of the last generation in the NBA. But it seems to me, maybe from your guys' perspective, that Wyatt Black has some real audacity to talk about his struggles to get here when you guys have had way more life struggles and just everything you've went through to get here. And this kid is almost saying he's had the most struggles of anybody to get to where he is. And you must find that laughable.
To quote Dusty Rhodes, he's going to find himself on some hard times. That is. Some hard times.
Hard times.
You think you know hard times? You don't know hard times until lockup.
Ooh, I'll tell you what, we're going to certainly be locked up there. There's the poster. I'll put up the WVWF's Facebook and YouTube page links in a few minutes. But it may be one thing to focus on Wyatt Black, but you've also got Jade May here in this matchup. Obviously, Riku St. Helen, I'm sure, is going to look to finish some business that she has, not only with Jade May, but her father. But how do you focus on them, and where do you see the rest of everybody here in this match? Obviously, you guys, and understandably so, seem to have a focus on the controversy King Wyatt Black. But what do you see from conversely across the apron? Jade May, our women's champion here in the WVWF, and, well, Riku's father, Carl, who famously, let's just say, stabbed Riku right in the back there, where no one saw that coming except maybe Miss Courtney Wood. So where do you both see the rest of your opponents here?
Well, I see them as bullies.
You do.
And
why is that? Why is that from your perspective, the rare bird?
I mean, I call it as I see it. They're bullying somebody.
They are. And like, all right, so like, let's be honest. I ain't got no nickel in this dime.
Okay. Okay.
I got one nickel.
Like my homeboy, he was fed up with it. I got his back always. So he goes running out there to break it up. I follow him. I help break it up. And what I see when I get out there makes me agree. I agree. They're bullies. They're bullies. And the issue with bullies is, the problem is you ain't as tough as you think you are. If you were, you wouldn't be bullying nobody. A lion don't got to tell you he's a lion.
That's right.
He just is. You know what I mean? We ain't running around.
And if a bully has to bully you, really, they've got an inferior complex that makes them a lot weaker than they are on the surface. So what you're telling me really is that your opponents across the apron are bullies, and they're not as bad as they appear to be.
So when we drag him into deep water and you know your heart rate reaches above 80 beats a minute and you don't know what to do and you want to fight or flight, we live there. We live there.
Fortunately, I fight and flight.
Well, you are the rare bird. You know, I was thinking about you, the rare bird, today, because I was outside in front of my house. I was looking up. Well, I had two instances where I thought about you, where you do smoke up there. You may need this here. The first instance was this morning. I was looking up and I see an airplane flying. Literally, I thought this plane was going to come right down on my house. I said, you know, it was nice knowing everybody. You know, I got a we'll get through in 12 days, but I thought at that moment, it's going to be nice knowing you. I thought, boy, maybe that's the rare bird. Then a few days prior to that, there was a helicopter that was literally right almost on top of where I was. And boy, that must be the rare bird. But, you know, it sounds like to me, from what you're saying right now, is that maybe the Institute, and especially the likes of the controversy king Wyatt Black, the sick and twisted Jade May, and, well, maybe even Carl, they can't swim because you guys know what happens with bullies, especially in those waters. They're going to be gasping for help, and there ain't going to be that rafter there that's going to be able to get them out of the sea, and
listen, I'm not saying we're unbeatable. I'm not saying we're indestructible. I'm saying you're gonna get fought.
Big time.
You're gonna get fought, and there's gonna be a point between the bell and the bell where you're gonna be like, how in the world did we get here? Holy smokes. I mean, it almost happens every time. Ask Damnation. You know, they thought they were just gonna roll over us.
They did.
They're not in the tournament no more.
Nope.
You know, that's a good point.
They cheated the second time.
Well, you know what? And that's a good point because we were talking about this last week with Wyatt Black, and we know the Institute obviously also has the champion here, Aaron James and Tony Sane. They're in the tag team tournament. And I was wondering for you guys, and you bring something up like that, you've got gold already, hype man, somewhere else. Is that something you're paying attention to very closely, this tag team tournament? Because Wyatt Black spoke about that. He spoke about, and so has Jade May has spoke about it here also on Sportswire a few weeks ago when she was here. She was in your chair, and they both seem to be under the conclusion of the same thing, that they want total dominance. And that would include those tag team championships, because last I checked, Jade May's got the women's championship. We know James Enoch, the Chemical Valley Gunslinger, has the hybrid championship. And, well, Aaron James, he's got the world championship. And those tag team championships are clearly in those sights for the Institute. And I think for you guys, it sounds to me like they're also in your sights. And, well, this could maybe be a crash collision course and a preview of what could happen with you guys and them in that tag team tournament.
And we'll be ready.
So that right there is my main goal. I am all in on the tag team tournament. That is our main goal. What we're doing with the Institute right now, that's a matter of principle.
I understand.
But we still came here to do a job.
And we're watching every tag team in the tag team tournament.
Yes.
We're not sleeping on anybody. We've been watching.
No, I think that's obviously a fair point. So let me ask you this question coming back to the match. I know it's a 6-person tag, so you really can't say, well, it's a preview or it's anything. But do you guys feel like, in a way, that a victory next weekend maybe goes a long way for not so much showing about the tag team tournament, but maybe showing that the Institute, they're not as dominant as they claim to be? Because if you guys can come in there and get a victory, sure, it'll help you into the tag team tournament, but do you feel like this is going to be something to prove that the Institute, that they can't push everybody around as they've been doing these last few shows in the WVWF? What's your thoughts on some of that?
Well, I don't know how dominant the Institute is. I'm not going to say that I can quantify that. I'll tell you this, though. You're not going to push us around. We are not the ones.
I push back.
Hard.
You know that already. I've seen that on the platform.
So, and while we're here talking about the match against the Institute, this whole sneak attack your daughter situation, like, karma's real, bro. That's coming. If it comes in the form of cease and desist, well, sure. But karma's coming. You should be looking over your shoulder, Carl. I'm just saying.
So what do you think Carl does here in the match? I mean, you know, Riku's got history with Jade May, and obviously we know there's even more history with Carl. I mean, you know, how do you think this impacts your partner in this match? I mean, we've talked a lot about Wyatt. We've talked a bit about the sick and twisted Jade May, but where does this leave your partner in this match? Because obviously, last I checked, it's 3-on-3, and if your partner's maybe too distracted by, well, all three of these people that she's got history with, this could maybe, let's say, sideline you guys and what you ultimately want here, which is a victory.
Now, so I don't expect much out of the physical aspect of wrestling from Carl. He's not an
Obviously,
athlete. He's not a wrestler.
obviously.
But like you said, the psychological aspect of, and like I don't know Riku very well. We don't know
No.
her very well.
No.
Because once we start creating that chaos and getting into those deep waters, I don't know if she can swim.
But how does that also maybe impact you guys? Because across the apron, Jade May, Wyatt Black, and Carl, they all know each other very well. I mean, they have a lot of history with each other, and they're certainly on the same page at the moment. So how does that impact you if you don't really know much about Riku? You have no history with her, really. How does that impact you going into this match? I would think in many ways this could give the Institute the edge here coming up next weekend.
I mean, that is definitely a challenge that we're going to have to face. But
For sure.
we accept challenges and defeat them.
And you know me, I love a good challenge.
You do. You are the rare bird, and you are certainly one of the more entertaining people that does come on to
Well, I appreciate
Sportswire Radio. And there is the poster, and please support the WVWF. I'll get to the chat here in a few minutes. But, you guys talked a little bit about the tag team tournament. I know people have talked about that here. Daniel Tafu, I know, has mentioned that, and some other people. I know Ampo the Destroyer has talked about that. I mean, we've had on Jade May. Wyatt Black has been here. So a lot of people here that have been coming onto the platform have talked about the tag team championships, really with the exception of Mr. Blue Collar Dax Preacher, Mr. Beefamania, because he's got the Mountain State champion. We'll give him a little bit of a pass. You guys, what would it mean to you, let's say, potentially to win the WVWF tag team championships? What would they mean? What would that mean to you?
Man, that's
I mean a lot. I can tell
a
you
lot. That's. I mean, if you show up as a wrestler to a promotion and you don't want the title in your respective division, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I believe that we are great. I know,
No doubt.
I know, and I know in my soul that we are great. So the tag titles will just be a physical manifestation of that. Almost confirmation.
Yeah, it's almost like the icing on the cake. It's almost
Yes.
basically pushing forward that, yes, we've talked a lot about you guys individually, but to win these tag team championships, especially with the WVWF reintroducing them, the tag team tournament, the amount of teams that are in this, it would say, you know what? Cease and desist, they are players. They are a team that's a force to be reckoned with. And we'll look at what they can do together. And maybe in some ways, you guys might be the most dangerous of any of these teams because you guys are so unpredictable. Hype man, we know what you can do in the ring. You're the rare bird, Chris Phoenix. I mean, you're in your own way somebody that it's hard to plan for you guys. Sometimes what happens in any situation, whether it's sports, whether it's wrestling, whether it's any situation where you don't really know how to plan for something or prepare, you guys might be the most dangerous because some of these other teams and some of these wrestlers out there, they have a certain style. And you say, you know what? I can go out there. I can read the scouting report. I can watch the tape and I can plan for them. With you guys, with what you do out there in the ring, I don't think any of your opponents can prepare for you, which might make you guys the most dangerous of any of these teams here in this tournament. What's your thoughts on that?
So I think that we have two things going for us.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
Okay.
One is we one up each other during the match. Every time I look over, Chris is doing something I've never seen him do before.
He's not wrong.
And so now, and then he tags me, and I'm like, well,
Not bad.
shoot, I got to do something. And I come up with something, and I tag him, and he's
Right.
like, you mother. And then so we escalate each other. Two, we have a tandem style of tag team wrestling that I don't think I've ever seen before. And we keep coming up with new stuff. And and we're such good friends. We have such good chemistry that it flows. We can just, I can look at them and be like, sure, I'll try that. We done had a whole conversation.
Which makes you guys that much unpredictable. That makes you guys that much more dangerous here in this tournament. And I think that what you guys bring to the table, and not to say that the other teams aren't that, but you guys have, which I completely agree with, a certain style and a certain pace to your matches that I'm not sure some of these other teams in the tournament that would have. And I think that that's why you guys are really one of those teams that I would certainly keep an eye on here going forward, not just here in the WVWF, but if you are here on Sportzwire Radio, do me a favor, go out there, please hit the sub button for the WVWF. Please support the like button on Facebook. Follow. They do have an Instagram page, TikTok. Follow them on TikTok, and most certainly hit the sub button for them on YouTube. They have 58 subscribers. If I could give them all my almost 2,000 subscribers, I would, but unfortunately it doesn't work that way. But they are 2 subscribers away from 60. So if you're here, hit the sub button for the WVWF. You can see a bunch of their content. But most importantly, we are here right now with the team of Cease and Desist. That includes the CSC Hybrid Champion of the World, Hype Man Dan Lasers, and the Rare Bird, Chris Phoenix. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all music and wrestling matters. If you're here on Sportswire Radio, please like, share, and subscribe to Sportswire Radio, and we'll get to the chat. I have a couple things I want to give you guys, and I might have someone that wants to say
number 3.
Yeah. Well, I may have someone that wants to say hello to you, but not named Wyatt Black. So that might be, it's unpredictable, but hey, that's how it goes here on Sportswire Radio. But it'll be a good thing. First, let's go to Zilla. Let's say hello to Zilla. I saw Zilla earlier in the evening. I see her here again. So Zilla, nice to be with you, and hope that you are doing well. And join us and support the WVWS, and we'll go to everybody else here. But I want to say hello to somebody else that is making waves. One of my favorite entrances, Mr. Judo Jones, and hope that Judo is doing well. And one of these days, we'll get him on the platform. And there is the sick and twisted Jade May, the WVWF Women's Champion, who has run through almost everybody in the WVWF, and she wants to say good evening, but she's got some more comments. Very interested in what you guys are going to say, and I think I'm very interested, and hopefully everyone else continues to be. Want to say hello to my buddy Ox McCoy. I hope he continues to recover from his shoulder injury, and he's watching this. He's the IMF Hardcore Champion, and but we have Hype Man Dan Lasers and Chris Phoenix on. So Zilla, maybe you should have mentioned that they would also be some of your favorite wrestlers, but that's okay. But we will give that a pass. Yes, I was trying to be funny. I was trying to be unpredictably funny. Hello to Ox, and maybe it didn't work, but yeah, Jade May is happy, and I wouldn't blame her. And speaking of people, welcome to the Wasteland. By the way, celebrated a birthday not too long ago. Happy belated birthday to him once again, and
Yes.
He is the USWA Universal Champion, and we see him here in the WVWF, and who knows, maybe you guys will meet each other.
Listen, tag match, singles match. I just want to see what would happen.
And he's a man that's had some big matches too, like you, Hype Man. He's been in there with some, big guys, kind of like a Soul Taker, and he's been in there with some different people, people that you've wrestled, like Pepper Pride, by the way. So he knows a thing or two about some of your opponents that you've been in there in the ring with, and he's got gold like you. He's an up-and-comer.
I've actually wrestled Tafua.
Yeah.
I know. I was going to bring it up next, and maybe that's why you guys might want to meet him this time with a tag team partner. He always wants to wrestle everybody, but by himself. But I'm sure he could find somebody, like Dave Jameson or Ampo or anybody else he'd like to.
Listen, I would share a ring with you anytime, Danny.
Well, you know what? I'm sure he'll want to talk about that. Hello there. Yes, I'm sorry you're not having a good time, but hopefully you have a good time here in Sportswire. Hello there. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope that you're enjoying the show, and hit the sub button for us and the WVWF. Chris Phoenix, you earned my respect for stepping up to me to take that Samoan drop, but sir, he didn't even call you Hype Man. Sir Lasers, I hope to see you soon. I like what you've done. You should push harder. I think it's what he meant to say, but I'll push you harder. Hope to see you. And what do you think about that, Hype Man?
Yo, maybe I'll take back my my previous statement. maybe Daniel Tafua can put some pressure on me. I'd like to see what happens.
I would too. I
that,
mean,
man.
Daniel Tafua is one of my favorites. I just love
Yeah.
saying Tafua. I love Daniel Tafua.
He is an animal out there.
Yeah, he is.
But I'm pretty clever. I don't know.
I know. Well, you've had some really big matches in your own right. I agree. The Rare Bird is definitely great, and also Wyatt Black will soon have closed lips with me, Tafua. But I want to go back to what Daniel Tafua says here about Wyatt Black, because Wyatt Black, sure, he says things, and a lot of guys, it may rub them the wrong way. I get that, but he has had a lot of big wins under his belt. He has defeated a lot of veterans. We know what he's did to Wildcat. Judo Jones is here. Damian Abel. It's a long list of people that he does have a victory over. So people can talk about the controversy king all they want, but at the end of the day, he has been successful, and his track record shows that he's won a little more than he's lost of late, and he's a guy that he's dangerous.
I'm not saying he's not extremely talented. I'm not saying he doesn't know his way around the squared circle, and he does have a great track. He's got a great track record, but when he came across me, he ended up looking up at the lights.
He did.
So you can run your mouth with everybody else. That's fine. I'm not that guy, and that's all I'm saying.
It's a fair. No, it's a fair.
I don't think Chris is that guy either. I mean, I think Chris is I'm pretty Chris is liable.
Well, Wyatt, he came out there, and we talked about this with you. I mean, Wyatt basically targeted you. He, was saying all these different things about you, and and he made it known. I mean, this is kind of in part why we have this match. The controversy thing, he felt that he doesn't want Chris Phoenix in the WWF. He doesn't want guys like you here in the WWF. I know there's a lot more people here in the chat, and I'll get to everybody shortly. But apparently, fellas, I have received word that there's somebody that would like to have a few minutes with you guys and to say a few words. No, it's not Wyatt Black. I can promise you it's not anybody from the Institute. But if you would give me permission, I would like to bring this person on, because I think you'll want to hear what this person has to say. So if you give me...
Bring him on.
Sure. Okay, all right, I want to make sure, because I think you'll like this here. So, wait a minute! It's the USWA Universal Champion. He's got the mask on. It's Daniel Tafua. He's here.
Hey.
What's up, brother?
What up, bro?
I hear about y'all going against the Institute, right?
Yes.
Well, let me explain this. After y'all's done with the Institute, maybe Cease and Desist can meet the Collective.
Whoa. That's an interesting proposition. That's interesting.
I was gonna bring this up earlier when we were talking about the tournament, because you were asking me about all the teams that I've been keeping an eye on, and we would be fools not to keep our eyes on the Collective.
I've always kept my eyes on the Collective.
Good.
We
Well,
would be fools.
I'm a member of the Collective.
Oh, I know.
So might have to keep an eye on Day Jameson and Ampo the Destroyer. I'm more better as kind of a singles competitor. So maybe I can issue a challenge. Dan Lasers.
Oh yeah.
Dan Lasers?
You would give me the absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
Really?
Dan Lasers, Chris Phoenix versus Tafua in a handicap match. Wait,
Daniel Tafua, you could get a tag team partner. People like you. Did I not say that this was going to be a potential thing that would happen?
What?
You can find someone.
I actually like this opinion that I'm about to do, because even that, let's see, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens did it before. So
Yeah.
Chris Phoenix and Dan Lasers for the WA Universal Championship. If y'all win, that means both of y'all have it. If y'all lose, unfortunately, the Samoan Nightmare, Daniel Tafua.
You know what? That makes my day. You know what? That Daniel Tafua, you just made my day. You know what? You made my.
Listen.
Dan, I don't think that's fair, Dan.
It
How
doesn't
about-
really seem fair.
It doesn't seem fair. I don't like
Nah,
that.
Daniel Defoe, you are a
Well,
good
I'm
man. Too good of a man. This is too
All
good.
right.
To do.
How
How
about,
about this? How about this?
I got one for you. How about this?
Just make it a
How about-
triple threat match.
A triple threat?
That's interesting. That's different. That's a clever idea there, Daniel Defoe. And you've been in a lot of multi-person matches defending your USWA Universal Championship here in the WWE. That's a really fascinating idea. I mean, that sounds
like
that sounds
I
like a
am
good idea
honored.
to me.
I am honored that you would offer that opportunity, but 2-on-1, I just don't feel like it's fair.
It's
These
not.
are Daniel Defoe. This
came up
isn't
with a
Wyatt
good
Black
idea.
you're dealing with. These are people that in the cease and desist that they have values. They want to do things the right way in our sport. They don't want to have an unfair advantage. And I kind of seem to agree with these guys. I would love to see a triple threat. You have three of the most unique and up and coming performers in our sport, and why not a triple threat? You've been in 5-way, 4 matches recently, 4 ways. I mean, why not?
I mean, if you want double teamed, I'm sure we'll double team you in a triple threat match.
No problem using him as a weapon, and
Mask
vice
just
versa.
came up with a better idea. And the Mask came up with a tag team match. How about Day Jameson and Tafua?
Oh!
And the
Yeah,
And
now
whichever-
that's a great idea. That's even a better idea.
whichever one of you pin Tafua is the #1 contender for the USWA Universal Championship.
Listen, I won't knock you off the pin if you don't knock me off the pin.
I won't knock you off either.
No doubt.
But-
I'm down with that.
Well-
That seems more even.
Daniel
playing
Tafua, you
field.
have backed yourself into a corner here, though, with this, because now you've given cease and desist a reason to target you and double pin you to stack you almost like famously Roman did at WrestleMania 37 all those years ago. You sure you want that?
That's fine with me. A tag team match will be nice.
I see that look in his eyes.
And you know, Daniel Tafua, I've heard
There
from a
is a
birdie, by the way,
confidence that comes with being
know-
at the head of your division.
and Mr. Tafua, you're one of my favorites, but I've heard from a birdie, not the rare bird, but that the collective are coming on to Sportswire Radio here in the next few weeks. That's what I've heard, and we're gonna get to see you and the rest of the group here. That's what apparently the word is traveling, that we're gonna see you guys here after Labor Day. So hopefully you don't labor in too much pain here in the next few weeks, and we can see the rest of the group here with you, and maybe we could talk about this, and among other things, I suppose.
Unfortunately, the collective won't be in the red light.
Well, I mean, maybe they'll have a green light, you'll have a red light, and maybe Ampo's Ampo. I mean, Ampo's Ampo, but you'll have the red light at least. But I can't speak for the rest of the gang.
I see y'all both looking at this championship.
I'm just looking at the opportunity to have a banger.
Opportunity knocks. I mean, we all know that. Opportunity knocks.
And we know that I don't. When opportunity knocks, I open the door. I've done it time and time again.
Now, it will be my first time to drink with you lasers. But Phoenix, me and
You guys got history. You guys do have history.
Yeah, don't think I forgot.
Ooh.
You see that beautiful title? He just popped up there.
I can put that right back up on the
beautiful
screen because you are the hype man. I can do that right now.
thing. I mean, you don't have to. It is beautiful. Look at
I
it.
can do that. You're the champion. I'm not. I should put it up the
Look at
whole
that.
time.
That's
I want to.
beautiful right
I want
there.
to see you guys' faces. But yeah, there you go.
I don't really know what the controversy
It is
was.
a pretty
but
belt,
They
by
made me
the
a
way.
whole
I
new
will tell you,
title, and she's
It is
beautiful.
a very pretty belt.
I have an idea also for you lasers.
Oh, I know where this is going. I can't
What's
wait
up?
for this. I know exactly where
If I
this is
beat
going.
you, then that means I get to go for that. Huh?
Ooh.
Well, I am a fighting champion. Bring it on, bud. Bring it on.
Unfortunately, I am a fighting champion too, because there has been many that stepped up. And
Yeah, you've had 4 other people in the ring at times to go up against you and take your championship away. You've
Which
had multiple people
I commend you
several
for.
times.
I
Speaking
definitely commend you for it.
Judo Jones is one of them.
He's here in the chat. I mentioned him.
Oh, quick shout out to Judo Jones.
Yes.
Judo Jones is a guy that I trained with back in my earlier days. Hey y'all.
One of my favorite entrances he comes out to music-wise.
Yeah. I just want to thank him for accompanying us in our last tag match in the tournament.
Yes.
Because Damnation,
They cheat a lot.
There's 45-11 of them, and they're all out at ringside, and they're grabbing your ankles and distracting the ref, and Judo came out and
Really helped us out.
he stood on business.
Yeah.
He
Well, that's
stood on
what it's all about. I mean, friends helping friends. I mean, that's what friends are for. What was the famous song? Who was it? Was it Diana Ross that sang that? Somebody will correct me in the chat. I think it was Diana Ross. But that's what friends are for. I mean, that's the whole point.
that was solid, man. Like the guy, he wasn't even on the card.
Well, because he's a friend. That's what friends are for. That's what friends are for. What can I tell you?
It's just, like, he has so much. The man has so much character. That's all.
He's a good man. He's a good man.
Really cool.
And a good man, they say, is hard to find. And Judo Jones is a good man, and that's why he is a good friend. And Daniel Tafua is a good friend, but when it comes to business, that's all pushed to the side. And we could see you guys cease and desist against the collective and Daniel Tafua and Dave Jameson. I mean, in his own right got gold.
All those guys are great. Every last person you just said is great.
Oh, yeah.
And any combination or version of that match, I want to have that match. Me and Day, me and Ampo, me and you, Chris, and us and y'all. Whatever way you mix it up, we can do a battle royal. I don't care. I just want to get in the ring with y'all. That would be fire. Because I'm looking for that pressure.
Eventually, it would happen.
It's got to.
Is that what you really want? Because the collective can make sure.
Listen, I'm down for whatever. You write my name.
I'm always down.
You write my name on the versus part of whatever, and I'm coming.
Let me. I got the. You know what? Like any wrestling booker, I saw Mickey James do this on Instagram. I got the pencil now, so we could pencil that in. So I can get a piece of paper, and we can put that down, and we can write this here as a match: the collective versus cease and desist, and we can figure out where. Maybe
we're both in the tag team tournament still.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
We're heading toward each other anyway. I don't expect. I'll put it this way, and maybe I'm getting too big for my britches, but
no, you're hype man Dan Lasers. Don't say that here. I mean, after what we talked about with Wyatt Black, I think you have plenty of rope to say anything you want. I mean, you can drag those waters any way you want.
But I will say that I don't see anybody else knocking the collective out of the tournament. If they don't win it, they lost to us.
Well, you still got the Institute to worry about. Just saying. I mean, Aaron James has that possibility of being a double champion. Tony Sane is their big recruit. Look at what he did. Double-crossed Nate Steele that way. Look at the elaborate scheme they had with Wyatt Black. And
that kid's so talented. He went to the dark side. Ugh.
But that's the way he went, and he sees that's the way to go to the top. That's the way to expedite his potential and get to where he wants to be, and that's wow, he sees it. He has an opportunity to win gold here very shortly in his career, and Aaron James is the man right now, and he has a chance to be a double champion, and that's what could be staring in your guys' way of potential gold.
You're right.
Well,
yeah. But
I don't want it to be right, but that's just the way it is, and that's how it could be. We'll see.
I mean, I think that the Institute, as far as the tag team goes, I think they got some challenges coming up that I think that they might be underestimated.
Well, I mean, Wildcat's back.
Yeah. I'm listen. All appearances aside, that man knows what he's doing.
Well, I mean,
his partner knows what he's doing.
Well, we've seen this story before, but maybe sometimes you can say don't call it a comeback. But in this case, they've got some motivation, and who knows? I mean, listen, I would say nothing would surprise me at this point, and
I'll tell you what.
Who knows?
There's a reason they say to respect your elders.
Yeah.
Why? I'm telling you.
well, everybody's an elder compared to Wyatt Black, but he doesn't seem to respect any of his elders except the Institute, and he seems to be successful, though. Just saying.
And that may be his undoing. I mean, it's got him to this point. And don't get me wrong, I commend the buzz. I'm a hype man. I see it.
You are.
I see it. My man's got some star power.
He does.
A lack of respect.
That's true too. I mean, and yeah, I mean, we'll have to find out. And yeah, you're also in action, also in your own right, Mr. Hype Man, in 2 weeks against a guy that's pretty big too. And he's not Wyatt Black though. His name is Chase Maddox, and I'm sure you're gonna do a lot in this match, and it'll be a very unpredictable match, undoubtedly.
So I'll say this.
Okay.
I've wrestled a lot of guys. Chase hits the hardest.
Yeah. Yeah.
He hits hard. My man ain't no slouch by any means of the term. But I will also say, I'm pretty sure I've beaten him every time I've wrestled him.
Well, he's going to look to beg to differ that here coming up in just over 2 weeks.
So I'm not saying he can't win. We're in a different playing field now. There's no tag partner. There's no break. There's no savior. You know what I mean? Like it's a different ball game.
Yeah.
And I'm going to a new promotion, and I don't know if he's going to have Damnation all around the ring. Because a match with a member of Damnation is a lumberjack match.
Yeah.
A one-sided lumberjack match.
Well, maybe you should bring some lumber with you. You know, get it lumberjacks lumber. I mean, you could always go to a lumber yard.
You know, I could go Jim Duggan and bring the 2x4 just to equalize it out, you know.
You know, it's funny you said that as we are here with now Daniel Tafua. We'll let him hang out with us for as long as he likes. And the team of Cease and Desist. Suppose I got something for you guys. And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. And if you're here on Sportswire Radio, hit the sub button for the WVWF. Please support them. And their show coming up here is next week's Lockup. It's at 325 7th Street in Parkersburg, West Virginia. Please follow the WVWF on Facebook. Also check them out on TikTok. And we're here with some of the guys who are going to be in action next week. You know, my dad as a kid growing up used to have a 2x4. Growing up in Brooklyn, for whatever reason, he had a 2x4. And he used to always keep it next to where he slept. And maybe you should have a 2x4 next to you, Mr. Hype Man Dan Lasers and the Rare Bird Chris Vance, because you guys might need it. You might not only need it for Chase Maddox, but maybe you need it for the Institute here. But our friend Courtney Wood just wants to say that the disrespect to Aaron James is completely uncalled for. And maybe she's onto something because, listen, he's the man right now in the WVWF. He's leading the Institute, and he's got an opportunity to be a double champion. And very few people in our sport for one company can say that they've got both of those things. And she does make a point that's valid.
Listen, no disrespect to Aaron James.
None.
He's a very dangerous competitor. I'm not necessarily a fan of him, I guess, leading Tony Zane astray. I'm not a fan of his
And leading a bunch of bullies who like to pick on people.
right. That little bully squad that ain't cool.
I do.
So while I give him as much respect as he deserves, and he does deserve a bunch, I don't have to like him.
Y'all can take care of the Institute while I take care of Wyatt Black.
Oh, and these guys have faced off here on Sportswire before. I want to say hello to Mikey D. How you doing,
Before
Mikey?
you get to Wyatt Black, you've got to go through me.
Oh, well, you know what? Well, first of all, guys, cease and desist timeout. You guys actually have the Institute here coming up next weekend. I just want to point it out. You guys do have here Wyatt Black. You're going to see him across that apron. So just maybe you'll get a crack at him first. And Zilla is a fan of the Institute, so ignore some of the things you guys have said. But Judo Jones wants to say, Tafua, I haven't forgotten about you, and in due time we will stand across from each other again. And thank you, Zilla. It does make my day, too, when I get a chance to see Daniel Tafua. And Judo Jones has a great entrance, Zilla. And also, happy belated birthday to you, Daniel Tafua. And don't ever back down. He is very quick on his feet. That's a good point. Also, I want to say hello to the last night and last week's guest here was on this platform, Mr. Omen Black, not to be confused with Wyatt Black. He's a lot more dangerous, a lot more deadlier, and he's got gold, unlike Wyatt Black, and he doesn't have to be a controversy king. He's a hardcore god and a boogeyman. So yeah, you would let's just say Wyatt Black would probably be hiding under the covers if he had to wrestle Omen Black. No, I'm serious, because this guy Omen Black. I mean, he put some guy that's a champion of a company with 1 million plus subscribers on YouTube and sent him packing back to my neck of the wood. Just how deadly he was. And yeah, Omen Black is here. Yeah, Omen Black's definitely a rough and tough guy. But we love Omen, we love Wyatt, and hit the sub button for the WWF. And certainly Chris Phoenix sure does push back. And who else we got here? And sit up. Do sit up. And Aaron James Courtney wants to remind you all that he will be a double champ. He is the best ever. And he, I think, is the best WWF champion ever. I think that's a fair point, that he is the man, and there's nobody anywhere near close to him, and that's why he could very well be a double champion.
I think,
Wow.
I know that being champion is a load. It's a weight to bear.
You both, listen, two of you have it. You
Yeah.
have the USW Universal Championship. You have the CSC Hybrid Championship.
No,
I'll get there.
I'm also.
You will. Yes, you will.
So like, I don't know, man. He's great. He's very effective. Very, very effective. Very crisp worker.
Yes, he is.
But I can't let him get in the way of my goal. I came here with a mission. We can't, no matter how daunting the task, no matter how steep the hill is, we have to get over it. It's not an option.
Everybody has to. Listen, it's something that, everybody in this sport has to go through it. And all three of you have to figure out which way you're going to go to get there. And Daniel Tafua is here as well. And I do want to say also hello to Daniel Tafua, because he did point this comment out. And Courtney also wants to say that it's called parenting, what Carl did in a world full of gentle parenting. Obviously Courtney is a big fan of, of corporal punishment. I guess you might want to say Courtney is a fan of that. And there are some people, I guess, in West Virginia that do that. I don't know. I mean, I'm in New York. Maybe we don't do those things here in New York, but maybe in West Virginia, that's what's good for the grander. I don't know.
He clotheslined her, right?
Yeah, he clotheslined her. But look,
I use the term stabbed in the back, meaning
as
that,
a father to two hatchlings, that's not how you treat your kid.
well, you know what? I would have no idea. I know nothing about it, so who am I to judge? But look, people had to put, my parents had to put up with me. So I mean, obviously, look, maybe they should have given me some corporal punishment. But don't feel bad for me too much.
Okay, so like, can we? I mean, you might not know, but why are we punishing Riku?
Well, I mean, that's a question you'd have to ask Carl. But Jade May talked about this a couple of times on here. But obviously, tough love. Courtney has said tough love here in the past, and she was very happy to see it, because Riku's had chance after chance with the women's championship, and she's been given opportunity, and now she has to learn the hard way. And that's going back to what Courtney's saying, and corporal punishment. I mean, that's just really what it comes down to. And again, people need to be more respectful of Carl, willing to be the bad guy to make sure his daughter is taken care of, and willingly spend time with Wyatt Black. That's true sacrifice. I'm not going to go there. That's Courtney's words. We love Courtney, but I'll let Courtney, definitely answer to that.
I don't necessarily agree with her, but that was funny.
That was funny also, but Courtney also added that Carl pushes back, ask Riku. Yeah, I'm sure we could do that. Aaron James is a man of honor. He does the right thing every time. But he wins. He wins.
I don't know. Maybe he does. But as for his little underlings, bunch of jerks.
Well, listen, but they've got gold, and they want total dominance. Jade May, sick and twisted. She's got the women's championship. She's been unstoppable. The Chemical Valley gunslinger James Enoch. He's the hybrid champion. He says he wants to be the most dominant hybrid champion ever and basically make that the workhorse championship. You've got the world champion, Aaron James, and they've got the tag team championships in their sights. And they even, in Wyatt Brock's case, he wants to kill Beefamania. He wants to kill the blue-collar Dax Preacher. And look at what they did to Nate Steele. Look at what they've done to Phoebe Harper. Look at what they've done to Riku. Look at what they've done to everybody that's gotten in their way.
They haven't did collective.
That's true too, but you guys could meet this same fate very soon, real soon. Just saying.
It's very possible. But I mean, if you can talk about their track record, but let's talk about our track record.
That's true too. I'm willing to talk about it.
So if a train is moving at this much speed and a train is moving at that much speed, well, let's just get ready for the explosion.
I can't wait to see it. I mean, it reminds me of the movie Money Train with Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson, and a young Jennifer Lopez. But
yeah,
I like that one.
Yes.
Although if I look, she looks almost the same. Maybe she's better looking now. She's got something that's a little bigger than it was 30 years ago. I'm gonna leave that at that. We're a family station, but yeah, it's almost like you guys with the Institute and the collective. It's like a money train. When the train's gonna go out there and they gotta stop it, they don't know how, and they have to figure it out. And maybe that's what's gonna happen here coming up, whether it's going to be next month or 2 months from now, whenever that time may be. Cease and desist the collective and the Institute. It's going to be like a money train, and it's going to be the place to be at 325 7th Street, the Richardson Building in Parkersburg, West Virginia, where we're going to get to see that train explode. That's the only way we can see it.
I mean, I will tell you this much.
What?
Because I'm excited about it.
Me too.
On this side of the guardrail.
Oh, well, I'm excited on this side of the guardrail.
Potential for fireworks, no matter which way you look at it. It's about to go down.
Oh, yes. Listen, let me tell you something. That's why we're going to be covering here all throughout the year. And that's why I'm very excited about that. And then just seeing Daniel Tofu on Sportswire excites all of us here. And Riku got punished for not listening or learning when to stop. She kept fighting Wyatt Black, but she did eventually get one over on him a few months ago. Carl did what he had to do as a father. He tried to help her. She wanted none of it. I mean, listen,
if you clothesline me and call it help, I'll have the same reaction. I don't think she's out of line.
But you're hype man Dan Lasers, so I mean, obviously, look, I don't think you're going to get the same treatment that Carl did to Riku. And you're the rare bird, Chris Phoenix, and then there's Daniel Tapu. So I mean, that's not going to happen to you guys.
Okay, so if we shouldn't stand for it, why should she?
You'll ask her when you see her in 8 days.
I don't think that she is going to stand for it, and I think that's why we're standing with her.
So maybe this will motivate her coming up next weekend to get her get back because of all the things that have been said here tonight. What Carl did, what Wyatt Black said here last weekend, and the sick and twisted Jade May, who's tortured her time after time and all their matches previously here in the Richardson Building, I guess.
And when Chris first got me into this, I was like, what are we doing? Right?
Yeah.
What are we even doing here? We got tag team gold to get.
That's true.
But the more we talk about it,
the
more I realize that without us, it would be Riku St. Helen versus her father and the Institute. Now,
And that's 1 against
11 teams.
I mean, last night, that math sounds like it could be a handicap match. Daniel, you're good in those. Let's not bring up Andrew Lovelace and Max Hammer, but I mean, that
that's
doesn't
a team
sound
we'd like to get our hands on.
You know what? And that, the Hammer and the Rare Bird, that could be a conversation for a different place and a different time. Maybe it'll happen. That'll certainly be good for TikTok. But I mean, look, the odds wouldn't be too good for Riku, but you guys are here, and that makes life a little interesting, I suppose, next weekend.
You know what I mean? The way I see it is, I just think that they thought they were going to bully this little girl. And I mean, if you're really a tough guy, when we came out,
why run?
It was 3-on-3. What we're about to do next week, we could have done the last time.
Right then and there.
But y'all turned tail and ran.
Well, we're going to find out. I mean, I tell you what, it's a reason why, by the way, let me put the post before I give you guys something, because I know you guys would definitely like to see what I'm about to give you. But we've got a lot going on here coming up. It is next weekend. It is coming up, and we are going to be locked up with all week coverage of the WVWF throughout the year on Sportswire Radio. We got 5+ matches. The Institute's going to be in action. We've got so many things to talk about here, which is why you need to go to the WVWF Facebook page to buy a ticket. You need to go out there and get a chance to get that from us. So, $10 a ticket. You can go out there and go to the movies, go to a concert. You can go out there and go to dinner, certainly, and spend 2, 3, 4, 5 times that much. But yet you can go out here and see some of the very best pro wrestlers, not just in West Virginia, but all across not only the United States, but the world. We've got some of them here, and that's why you should go out there. And, oh, by the way, some logo here of Sportswire. You can see that there on the poster. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe they made a mistake and somebody just put that there. I don't know why, but no, we're very appreciative of being there on the poster. But no, you have a chance. Only $10. Doors open 6 o'clock. Bell time 7 o'clock. WVWF is family friendly. I am a softie for family friendly wrestling. Some of the very best that we get a chance to see and get to cover here on Sportswire Radio. And we got some of the guys who are going to be there. So please support the WVWF. Please support them. It's all wrestling matters. Support all the great talents out there that are in the ring. And we see some of them on the posters, some of them here, and we're here for a few more minutes. But fellas, I got to give you something. Daniel Tafu, you make me feel bad because I didn't plan on you being here, but I have to give them something. I've given you something here before I get to Courtney's comment, but let me do it here because I spent all this time trying to give these guys something, and I hope they'll appreciate it. I have a feeling that they will, so let me put it up here because for those that are listening and watching on Sportswire Radio, it is this day there. How about that, fellas? I mean, yeah, I could have did Daniel Tafua Day, but we didn't plan that one. But it is cease and desist day. Sorry, Tafua.
We got a day, bro.
Yeah, I put you in the Hall of Fame, Daniel Tafua. So
I know. That's why I'm not even worried about it.
That's true too. Wyatt Black would probably want like a holiday on his behalf, but nevertheless, it was funny. Nevertheless, it is cease and desist day on all of my platforms. I'll give you guys the physical copy, and I do. It's funny. You did the Wrestlers Court podcast, and they didn't even know anything about you. We give you the whole 9 yards in the kitchen sink, and we'll give you the physical copy. And congratulations, fellas! And I knew you guys would be excited. Yeah, I knew this one would be the proper appearance for you guys, and this would be the proper one. But Courtney's really going all in about some lessons are hard to learn. She will be better on the other side of this thanks to Carl's good parenting. Some of you are pretty.
I can agree with her there. No, I can agree with her there. On the other side of this, she will be better.
About this one, basically.
All right. I want to hear it. Maybe
a long time ago, Courtney went through the same thing. Maybe.
I don't know. Courtney's an esteemed writer, Slam magazine. She's a teacher. She's an indie wrestling celebrity. She's come up with the famous line about he's got to 5. No, Courtney. I don't think Courtney had to deal with corporal punishment. Courtney, I think she was smarter than all of us combined. I don't think Courtney was Riku. I think Courtney, she's got a mouth on her own. She can write a little bit. She knows these fancy words. I think Courtney. I don't think Courtney was Riku or even Wyatt Black once upon a time. What do I know? You guys know Courtney better than I do.
People do.
I'm not saying as in like Riku. I'm saying as in Carl.
That's you know what? I'm gonna certainly say no comment on that still because
who knows? That's not a terrible thought.
Well, that's why he's Daniel Tafua, but there is a reason why that everyone has been around her, that has turned on her. When do we start asking, is she the problem? I don't know. But you know what this sounds like to me, fellas, is that you guys might have to do the work on your own here coming up. And this is why, going back to this match here before we get to a few more words, is that I hope that you're on the same page with Riku. You guys can get the job done, and you can focus on maybe a showdown with the collective and maybe eventually that showdown of getting tag team gold. So I hope for your sakes, because you said it here at the beginning of the show, you didn't really know much about Riku. You didn't have much history with her. And I would hope for your sakes that you're on the same page with her. And
now time out. Now she has been women's champion, right?
No,
She was the hybrid champion.
she was 0-9 in women's championship matches. Riku
Oh.
St. Helen. She's like
Oh.
0-9. Yeah, we don't want to go down that road.
Okay, wait. She had a belt at some point.
Did she
Did
have
she
a
not?
belt?
Did I make that up?
No, I think she did win a championship, but right now she's got nothing.
Right.
She doesn't
Right.
even have
Okay,
a bottle.
okay,
So
but
I mean, really,
when the lights were brightest, she did deliver.
she's had her moments. No, there's no question that she's had her moments. But right now, this is a moment that I don't know if you could prepare for. Your own parent turning on you, and after being out for a few months, we saw what Wyatt Black did to her, that vicious injury that she had to deal with. So, I mean, now she's dealing with things that I don't think you
All that
prepared
is
for.
ammo. Rico,
I hope so. I hope for your guys' sake.
Rico, if you can hear me, if you're listening, come next weekend, this weekend, next weekend, come next weekend. We are going into deep waters. But I want the pressure to make you a diamond, okay? That's the only way we make it out of this. You ready? Because we ready.
Well, we'll find out. And I think we'll get to some final words in a minute. And I think somebody else will come back on one more time for their usual thing. But all right, fellas, let me give you the opportunity as I make the transition to put the poster back up. If you had any final words for Wyatt Black, Jade May, and Carl, what would they be before next weekend coming up?
We got a lot of momentum right now.
A lot.
I agree.
This company and that company and the next company, we got a lot of momentum
Everywhere
right
we
now.
go.
So we're coming in hot.
Literally.
We're coming in hot. I want the best version of you guys. You guys better be ready.
Bring that challenge.
Remember, Wyatt, all that yapping, keep the same energy.
I want to see that physical energy this time.
Well, that could certainly be part of it, and we are very excited about what's ahead here next weekend. It's the WVWF's latest show. It's called Lockup, and you'll want to see that here coming up. And you can go to the WVWF's YouTube page. You can go to their Instagram page, and you can also go to their Facebook page, because I am having trouble loading your poster here before I come right back to that. But please support the WVWF. Please support them. We're going to see a lot of action. The Institute's going to be in action plenty. We're going to see Dax Preacher. We're going to see a lot of other talents. Daniel Tafu is going to be there. So definitely, I'm sure plenty of things will be ahead coming up. And I can't wait for it. And Courtney wants to say, I have never clotheslined any of my kids aside from Pav Novak. And, well, you've met him. Yeah, we know a lot about Pav Novak. And, definitely shout out to Pav Novak. Before I get to closing thoughts, and one other thing. Anywhere else we're going to see? Now, we got the match with Chase Maddox on the 30th. Is there anything else you guys want to promote here before we give you final words and one final entrance from somebody?
Crown Sports Entertainment.
September 13th.
And see SCWA, which is Showtime Championship Wrestling Alliance.
Yes, I did see that on Instagram. I did see that on Facebook.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, guys. It is a great crowd. Go get in it. It's awesome.
Love that.
And I will be defending my hybrid title. I don't know against who.
Well, don't tell us. So don't do it. Let the audience. They'll figure it out when the time is right. They'll figure that out. That you'll defend that championship, and you'll most importantly be in action. There's the poster. Boy, social media and technology do a lot of things for you. And yeah, there it is. There it is in West Virginia.
Philadelphia, West Virginia.
Philadelphia.
Also want to say that the 30th of August, I'll be at DCW.
You will be.
Oh,
the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yes.
Well, you know what? You could have
for
gold,
gold.
and the hype man could have gold. How do you like that, ladies and gentlemen? How do you?
Said, my
how do you
time's
like-
coming.
the time is coming that you guys could be belt collectors. Who knows?
Time is now, my friend.
Championship.
I'm
The time is definitely now. And you know what? Before we go, you made a great point, Hype, and now I get it because you said the time is now. The time starts now because, yes, you've had big matches, you've had big wins, but now everything starts to where you guys are going to end up. Enough about you guys are being Hype Man and the Rare Bird and, we're interesting, we're unpredictable, we're clever. No, now we're serious, we're contenders, we're for real. That starts tonight. That most certainly is we're going to be feeling next weekend at the WVWF's latest show Lockup, and that's going to continue the following weekend. DCW, you guys are going to continue. You're going to have Chase Maddox again. You could be walking away with that heavyweight championship, and we're going to see you guys on the 13th as well coming up at CSW. You're going to have your championship defended, and I'm sure plenty of stuff here ahead in the WVWF, and I agree. Get it, boys, absolutely, and if you are here also, definitely thank you for being here. Also, if you're here, hit the sub button for the WVWF. Check them out. That's where the guys are. If you want to buy a ticket, go to their Facebook page. Also, if you like what you hear from us tonight, hit the sub button for me. I would appreciate that way you can get into the notifications for when these guys come back on and some of their opponents come back on here because you're going to see a bunch of them here coming up very soon.
May I plug one thing?
You can plug 10 things if you like. You can plug anything. You got on here. Go ahead. You got it.
Chase Maddox, knuckle up, buddy. Let's get it.
Ooh,
he knows. He knows.
Yeah.
He knows.
You want to tell him directly anything else? Because I got that poster up there for you. You want to tell him anything else? Because you got some history with him.
Listen, he calls himself the headhunter, but I got good head movement.
I could see that. I could see. You're a hype man. You think like a bee.
It's going to be a hard hitting fight. There may not be a belt behind it, but it's giving me that championship feel.
Me too. And you've been in a lot of big matches that haven't needed a championship, and sometimes those are the most interesting matches in our sport. The matches where there's no title on the line; it's just simple. Who's the better person? Who's the better man? Mano a mano. Those are the things that you might see most. That's a typical rivalry match, and you guys have a budding one coming up.
I want to go ahead and say the same thing to my opponents. August 30th. Phantom and Frankie Swamp Frog. Swamp Frog? Is that his name?
Well, you said it. You said it, not me.
Swamp Tower.
Swamp Tower.
Swamp Flower. I may be new to this DCW, but Frankie don't know me. Phantom, I beat him. I got his number.
Safe to say it's not Frankie Goes to Hollywood, the 80s group.
I'm coming for gold.
I'll tell you what, you've seen what your tag team partner's done. You've seen what Tafua has done. You've seen what the Institute have said, and maybe it is time for a Rare Bird to fly away and fly home with some championship gold here coming up 2 weeks from now. But before we sign off, these guys are going to fly with Cease and Desist Day on all Sportswire radio platforms. Fellas, I'll give you the physical copy. But, I was going to sign off with you guys, but he's got something else to say before.
Hey, buddy.
What do you got, Daniel?
The Mighty Lega was talking, and the Mighty Lega kind of took over. So, after y'all take out the Institute, when y'all come to the collective way, there also is a reckoning and also a red door. So basically, that red door, just letting you know, when y'all open that red door, y'all can't leave. You know why you can't leave? There's so many things. And look, he's taking over again. The Mighty Lega. But
oh my God, he's done it again! He's done it again on Sportswire Radio. We have seen this multiple times. Ladies and gentlemen, he has taken over. He has taken over. Ladies and gentlemen, just tread very lightly here.
Mighty Lega takes over. Cease and Desist. Dan Lasers, Chris Phoenix. There's no running.
There's no running! There's no running, ladies and gentlemen!
If there's no running, I'll just know I have the whole world in my hands. And when the whole world is in my hands, there's no one that can stop Daniel Tafua. And once we all run into each other, I'll be ready to defend this. And just know, Lasers in Phoenix, I will welcome you to the wasteland, and you'll never forget the name.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing else to say after that. The Mighty Liga has said, welcome to the wasteland. Welcome to the wasteland, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. He left. Fellas, I mean, obviously, Daniel Tafua, he is certainly a man that he says what he says, and he looks to walk the walk. And boy, what a night. Certainly, you heard plenty from him, and we talked plenty about what's ahead here in the WVWF and DCW and CSE. And anything else you guys want to plug, share, or say before we sign off, or who knows, whatever else?
Thanks for having us, bro.
Yes.
Yeah. This was memorable. Yeah, this was memorable, and I'm sure that we'll all be going to Wrestler's Court after this episode, especially talking about the Institute and talking about Wyatt Black and talking about parenting skills and talking about the Wasteland and the Mighty Liga and the Collective and the Institute. But I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to cease and desist for now on Sportzwire Radio. But I promise you, we're going to have plenty of things we're going to lock up with when it comes to the WVWF after August the 23rd. And one more time here on all Sportswire Radio platforms, it is Cease and Desist Day. And this is the team here that is certainly going to cease and desist their opponents next weekend at the WVWF's latest show, Lockup. That is Hype Man Dan Lasers, who is the CSE Hybrid Champion, and the Rare Bird himself, Chris Phoenix. And they will be in action alongside Riku St. Helen against her father, Carl, the WVWF Women's Champion, the Sick and Twisted Jade May, and the self-proclaimed youngest hybrid champion in WVWF history, the Controversy King, Wyatt Black. Fellas, this was definitely memorable. Let's do this again sometime next month, and good luck as well out there in DCW CSE, and especially next weekend. And we'll see you soon, guys, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. This was
Absolutely.
Always
it was
been a pleasure.
definitely, yeah, it was always a pleasure here, and thank you for a lively Friday night here. But that is the team, Cease and Desist. That is Hype Man Dan Lasers. He is also the CSC Hybrid Champion. Alongside him is his tag team partner, the Rare Bird, Chris Phoenix. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, with all music and wrestling matters. Thank you so much, everybody here, for tuning in. If you're here, please hit the sub button for the WVWF. Follow them on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Hit the sub button for us here at Sportswire Radio 6579. I'll be back here a little after 10 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow with Jay Ryan. He hasn't been here in a minute, and we'll see what he has to say. But until then, thank you so much, everybody, for being here tonight on Sportswire Radio. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, on the number one global radio station that is Sportswire Radio with all music and wrestling. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow.